Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sacred Fertility Talks with a focus on Call in a Baby. I'm Dr. Pamela, and as always, I have my brilliant colleague, Dr. Erin, with me today. Hi, Dr. Erin.
Hello.
So, we are going to explore an interesting topic today, different from our other topics. So, how nature connects with ancient wisdom. So, specifically, harnessing the power of the moon and the importance of preserving the yin energy, especially the beginning of summer. So, honestly, this topic often missed in modern medicine or modern fertility talks. So, let's explore this together with Dr. Erin.
Perfect.
So,
So
go ahead.
you go.
So tell us, Dr. Erin, what is your thoughts about moonlight therapy?
Yes, I love this one. I think this is became pretty common in my clients that I recommend this, especially at this time of year, because where we are on the Gulf Coast is in and the days get longer and they get longer. And it's wonderful in a sense because we have so much abundant time. We can be outside. But we also have to stay focused on that harmony between yin and yang. And I think that's what happens in the summer is that we get into the go, go, go mode. There's so many social events, and we can be outside all day and we can stay up late, and the kids are home from school. So we don't have to, everything's a little different, but it's really easy to overdo it. So, this idea about really tapping into the moon energy is to make sure that we're keeping the balance between all of that abundant heat and fire and what's out in the environment in the long sunny days, but making sure that we stay harmonious with the rhythms and tapping into the yin quality of our body, which is that cool, dark, quiet place.
Yeah, so the lunar cycle always correlate with the female energy. That's basically how you track your ovulation.
Right.
So in Taoist philosophy and traditional Chinese medicine, the moon considered the yin energy, like Dr. Erin said. And again, just to repeat what Dr. Erin said, is represent the calmness, the inwardness. So during this first leg of summer, especially June, when the heat hits, right? There is no turn off button. It's kind of like everything goes straight to the sky, like the horse just like left the beginning line, the starting line. So
Uh-huh.
so it's important for us to acknowledge that so we can balance it so we don't get so burned out. So, or feeling low feel. So this is when people come in, especially June. I see this in clinical setting a lot. During June time, everybody bursts with energy. But
Yeah.
when they come to July or August, right, everybody get depleted. You can tell them they feel like it's just not enough fuel anymore. Right, Dr. Erin?
Well, we're always trying to beat the heat where we are.
Yeah.
But if you grow things, go outside and it's like you want to work in your garden, but then you have to go do something else. And then you have a regular work day. But then you also want to work in the garden when you get home. And you want to go swimming, or you want to go to a friend's house, and you want to go down the river and you want to play. And it just keeps going. So it's just really easy to have a lot of extra hours of socializing and physical stuff. I really like to take walks in the evening, but I can't go until 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. And so,
Mhm.
there's the capacity of what we're doing over the course of a day gets really long. So by the time we get into that July and August, we're tired. Like we have overdid that first it's summer.
Yeah.
So especially for the women and the families that are trying to create a new life and bring that baby in, we want to be mindful that yes, we have access to all of that summer energy, but it's still really important to stay in some of that stillness. We keep talking about how stillness is the well that brings forth life. So
Mhm.
if you just spend the whole summer busy, you haven't really tapped into the well. So we always want to be returning to the stillness and tapping into the wellspring of fertility and abundance and creativity. And that comes from the moon and being quiet.
Yes, I love it. And then there is another condition or another situation that happening while everything is busting out, everything is working outward. There is these people that very yin, they get depressed during summer. So mostly, like I said, we have to balance the yin and yang. So the thing that they can do is they don't have enough, even though it's a young season, just imagine the bursting energy of the summer, but these people still feel so cold, so inward, so depressed. So what they can do for to burst, to invite gently their young is to be outside between 7 and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So these hours is basically aligned with the stomach hours. When we talk about the stomach hours is the energy of your organ. 7 to 9. That's the stomach hours. Remember, stomach is the receive the young, so so you able to get the extra energy. And then nighttime, 7 to 9 p.m. That's the pericardium hours. So that's when you tap into the moon energy, lower your cortisol down. Right, Dr. Erin?
Yes, perfect. Morning, we want to go out in the sun and get the vitamin D, and it doesn't have to be a long time, but that's when our body is really open to receiving. So we pull that energy into the sea of chi and blood. That's what we call the
Yeah.
stomach channel. So
Mhm.
you pulling energy in, and then again, like Pamela said, then 12 hours later, you want to close it down and use that pericardium energy. And in Chinese medicine, the pericardium is the heart protector. It's a really, see, the fire season is all about the heart. And so the pericardium is the heart protector. You can think about it like the AC vent, the regulator. It does protection mode of the heart. So then we call in that energy to soothe the heart and quiet the inside body down. And like she said, that really helps with that circadian flow and bringing down your cortisol and telling your body it's time to settle, time for a break.
And then with the information that we just talked about just now, so can you tell us how this information impact fertility specifically?
So historically, the
Mhm.
ovulation and menstrual cycle followed the moon. That's where, if you read a book like The Red Tent,
Mhm.
it'll talk about the women's rhythms and how women tended to be similar in their timing because they were very connected to the natural rhythms of the world around them. And so as women now, we've disconnected from that because of we have air conditioning and we have lights and we have all the things that can make us not feel connected. But ovulation usually peaks at the mid-cycle
Mhm.
as you're in that transition phase between full moon and new moon, and then it recedes. And so that's all governed by the lunar cycle. So anytime I have somebody that has a problem with ovulation, they're not ovulating regularly or not at all, or the timing is strange, doing this lunar cycling is an excellent way to help your body rhythm reharmonize to the pull of the moon, which will literally reset your hormones. And part of it has to do with the sleep wake cycle. So
Yeah.
when we're rising our yang energy at the right time and then letting our yin energy come like dominate and get into the resting state, that's how your body dictates an ovulation and menstruation cycle, which is why when we're stressed or we're overworking or working night shift,
Mhm.
we tend to get all out of whack. So
Mhm.
you can think about this as like a daily exercise in resetting your hormonal balance by syncing up your physical timing with the timing of the sun and the moon and harnessing the push and pull. It's already there. We don't have to do it for ourselves. We just have to sync up to what already exists. And that will reset ovulation and hormonal balances.
So I want to add something about the ovulation as well. So some people, they have delayed menstruation or menstruation doesn't exist entirely and for several months. We're not talking about post-menopause. This is the people that trying to conceive. So remember, yin, when we talk about the yin, we talk about the blood. So if you like overwork, overstress, there is no blood, there is no yin. So part of the yin that you're building, Erin was saying, you like the moon cycling, meaning you acknowledge the process, not just like building the blood, but you recognize how your blood is, how you build your blood. So you got enough to basically do the moon cycling, regulate your ovulation.
Because the egg is
Yeah.
the representation of yin and blood in women. Everything is in service to
Yes.
nurturing that egg up to the surface so that it can pop out and ovulate. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yes, the lunar cycling is it's a daily come
Mm-hmm.
this way, and it's protective to it because it's almost like you're bathing your body in that energy frequency that's abundant in the moon time that your body absorbs. Just like we go outside and we absorb the sun, well, now you want to absorb the yin of the moon, the peacefulness of it, the stillness and the quiet and the soft. And that will come into your body and help facilitate those natural cycling rhythms of the egg.
Yes. It sounded so mystic, but it's not mystic. It's mystic on its, and you want to make it mystic. But another way to look at moonlight exposure therapy is not just about the physical fertility. So, of course, we're talking about physical fertility, but it's all about creation as well. Yes. When we say creation, your book, your idea, your business, your healing process, this is part of creation. And we talk about this one, Erin. Remember, you talk about the birds? You want to share about the birds?
So we got really excited about it. So I have a frosted glass door and it has a wreath on the front door and it's got flowers. So a few weeks ago, we realized that there was a ladybird who was building a nest inside the wreath, between the wreath and that frosted glass door. And so we monitored and we actually put a step ladder in front of the door so people would stop going in and out and let her feel safe. And she laid 5 little eggs, little tiny blue baby bird eggs. And so the whole house, I have 3 kids, the whole house has been really entertained with watching the comings and goings. And because of this, we had to stop turning on the front porch light every night. My husband turned it on the first night and I said, "No, you can't." And he said, "Why? We need the light on." And I was like, "No, because that's going to disrupt her rhythm. The bird in the nest,
The
she's the bird.
yin.
She
It,
wants the yin. She wants the darkness. So if we do that, that will disturb her. It's just like the turtles. You can't have the lights because it messes up the turtles. So anyhow, we haven't had the front porch light on. It's pitch black out there. And we woke up today to our first 2 little tiny hatchlings. And so mommy and daddy bird have been very busy coming and going all day. And we can watch it through the frosted glass and see their little silhouettes. So it feels very precious, but it was a great thing to share with my kids. They got to watch the whole rhythm and just talking about during the day, the parents go out and they do their work and then they come home and they sit down and we turn the lights off and let them be.
that's a perfect example of yin energy. You acknowledge the yin, and we have been working on calling the baby, and the birds is basically part of the manifestation. That's so beautiful.
For sure. It felt like a gift. It always feels like, oh, this is something really special to be able to watch and to witness. And so we just wanted to share that.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so moving forward, so we about closer to the end, but we normally provide our listeners some guidance for
Yeah.
ritual. And I
Well,
think
I
Dr.
want to share one more thing too before
Yes,
we go further. It really
yes,
didn't even occur to me to say it until we were just talking. And
yes,
you said that about 7 to 9 being the pericardium and
yes.
the heart protector. So I want people, especially women trying to conceive, there is a certain amount of anxiety and tension and fear that shows up when it feels like you're feeling the pull and the timeline and you're getting that tension. But when you think about, like we said, the pericardium is the heart protector, it is the heart regulator. So for women who are really having those moments, it's an extra opportunity for you to get in the space between all those things. You've got open heart energy. You've got the energy of protection from the pericardium and bringing in that yin time. And I think if you really practice this, it becomes a great tool for managing some of the tension and the anxiety that comes from feeling like it's not happening fast enough. What if? You really want to focus on that, the stillness, but the heart protection. It's protecting your heart in a way that still allows you to open up to possibility and feel vulnerable, but also still feel safe. So it's just especially important to point that out. You want to harness that energy into the protective space of your heart because it'll give you the strength to keep going when it feels like it's challenging.
And with that, I'm gonna add one more, yes, because it just came out. So I like to use the pericardium 6 because the direction for the point, it goes basically it goes all the way here and it crosses the heart and it goes just to the stomach, which basically perfect point. Yes.
So if you do the three fingers for all the
Yes.
ladies watching, you go like this, and at the bottom of your three fingers, it's a place where they tell you to put those C bands if you're going on a cruise or if you have nausea. And there's
Yes.
two little tendons, and there's a
Yes.
spot right in the middle. And
Yeah.
that's where you want to go. I made a little X with my fingernail, if you can see
Yeah.
it.
And you can do that. You can use that when you are doing the moonlight therapy.
Yeah.
Putting with one hand and meditate.
That's right.
Stimulate the point.
That's
Yeah.
right. Just resting on it. And also, it's important to point out that the pericardium is the sister channel to the liver of Yin.
Yes.
So, still working through the energetic, emotional stuff, the pericardium assists the liver to process emotions, specifically of the heart. So, it's just that's what Chinese medicine is so beautiful because of all the layers. But this little practice that might feel like it's like a no big deal is actually big practice. It's profound. So,
Very.
doing that, putting your intention there, taking this time every day, you just put it into your routine. And all we're doing is really capturing what's already available to us that we've just disconnected from.
There you go. That's part of the ritual. That's what the ritual we're talking about. Yes.
All right. So, should we go over the ritual?
Yes.
So, let's also say if you're going to do this, do the morning too. Whatever we're doing in the evening to close, do it in the morning too to open and rise. Go out in the sun in the morning, 7 to 9. Receive the abundant yang energy, especially if you tend to be, like Pamela said, cold, lethargic, low energy. You really want to bring that in. So, after sunset, you want to go outside or find a good window, find a place where you're facing the moon. Locate it for yourself. And if you have access to the great outdoors, it is really especially wonderful. If you don't, inside will do just fine. So you want to sit down, get into your comfortable space, and I want you to imagine a little triangle between the top of your head and your two sits bones where you're sitting. So if you can make this little energetic triangle, it's the perfect little receiver, right? A little triangle of your body to pull and root down in that energy. So just feel your sitting bones on the ground. Notice the space between those and the top of the head and the forehead. And then breathe slowly. Just let your energy settle down into the sit bones. Now, placing one hand on the lower abdomen below the navel, and then one hand over your heart. Just feel that little triangle. Feel the top of your head. Imagine where you see the moon, even with your eyes closed. Just sit with that until you're ready. And then, when you feel the contentment of the moment, repeat silently, or you can say it aloud. You can whisper it. I receive. I rest. I call in what is mine in divine timing. Right? This is the belief that what is meant for you is on its way, and you just have to be ready to receive it. I receive. I rest. I call in what is mine in divine timing. It's a really simple mantra. It's really powerful intention. So you just want to sit for 10 to 15 minutes and do this. And you don't have to be repeating the mantra the whole time. Just do what feels natural. but notice the moon. It's always changing. So just pay attention to that. Oh, it's a crescent. Oh, tonight it's this color. Oh, tonight I can hardly see it. You're syncing up your cycle with what's available to you right outside your door. And you're just bringing your energy into harmony with that resonant lunar energy. So it's going to consolidate your energy and help you have a good night's sleep. And it will sink everything into your body and bring those timings in.
It's beautiful. Simply beautiful. I want to add one more practical touch. So sometimes when we talk about this, sometimes we forget that people such as Alaska, they have long extended hours of young time. Sometimes they don't get dark until 12 o'clock midnight. So what you can do is be in the dark room and then light up a candle, all right? And then be in that room within 7 to 9 p.m. So basically that's the pericardium hours. So you can do the same thing what Erin just teaches just now. You can repeat the same thing, but you using the candle as a mirror of the moon. And again, it's all about working smart, not hard.
Right. Simple touches throughout your
Yes.
day,
Yes.
over the weeks that just allow you to produce what is already available to you, but you haven't been able to access it yet.
Yes. But anyway, we are at the closing of this conversation today. And do you have anything else you want to say, Dr. Erin, before we close?
We were just talking about it. We have a full moon this week. So
Yeah.
this is the perfect moment to start this practice. Any day is the perfect moment to start a practice. But we have this beautiful strawberry moon coming this week, and it's the beginning of summer. It's just the early stages of June. So it is such a good time to start noticing and paying attention. So I love milestones and landmarks on the calendar. It makes it easy. So to me, that just speaks like, oh, let's get in on that. Let's go do that thing. So that's it. Pay attention to what your calendar is telling you and just go outside and start.
Yes. Excellent. But anyway, for our listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Dr. Erin, for the brilliant conversation. And thank you for listening to our quiet yin conversation. So remember to breathe deeply, to honor your yin, and call in your next creation. Take care for now.